Hello friends, today we will discuss about basics of statistical tests or experimenter is interested. Now next is measurement process. Sometimes measurement process also shows certain variation in data or readings. So next is experimental material. Sometimes experimental material also shows variation in results. Say for example in pharmaceuticals, when we are preparing various batches of tablets, if we are changing raw material from one vendor to another vendor, then it shows certain variations in our results. Next thing is three kinds of variability. Now we will discuss about kinds of variability. So first is planned systematic variability. So this systematic variability consistently reflects independent variables and their influences, often analyzing control and experimental group or groups. Say for example, certain people from one background may score consistently higher on tests than others. So this is planned systematic variation. Next type is chance or random error. So this random error introduces variability between different measurements of the same thing. So we can say that there is difference between random and systematic error. Like random error shows accuracy, but systematic errors always deals with precision. Third thing is unplanned, systematic or confounding. So this confounding deals with both independent and dependent variables. As this is considered as an extraneous variable, it is difficult to measure cause and effect relationship. Then we can consider one example of confounding variable. Suppose you are going to collect data on sunburns and ice cream consumption. You find that higher ice cream consumption is associated with higher probability of sunburn. Does that mean ice cream consumption causes sunburn? No. Here the confounding variable is temperature. So high temperature causes people to both eat more ice cream and spend more time outdoors under the sun, resulting in more sunburns. Now suppose we want to know in what proportion with asthma is in the population. So this parameter is known as population parameter. Now we will target certain population like all school children in the UK. So this number of children will be in millions. Now we will consider certain sample from this targeted population. So we will consider interviewing these students for the estimation of proportion of asthma in our population. So we will consider this sample for calculation of population parameter. Now to predict the behavior of the population on the basis of sample, we have data, and data is the only weapon to predict population parameter based upon sample. So next important thing is data. We know that data is individual pieces of factual information which might be recorded or used for the purpose of analysis. So this is raw information. Now this data is divided into two types, metric and non-metric. So metric data is also known as quantitative data and non-metric data is known as qualitative data. So metric data always possesses some unit. So metric data again divided into two types, discrete data and continuous data. So discrete data is always countable and continuous data is always non-countable, but it is measurable. Now next thing is this non-metric data again divided into two types, nominal data and ordinal data. So this non-metric data is having no unit. So nominal data is like gender, color of hair, eyes, etc. And ordinal is based upon rank and grades. Now next part is modern approaches in data. Say for example, variable has precisely two distinct valid values. Suppose this is true or yes, then we can say that this is dichotomous variable. Dichotomous is nominal variable which have only two categories or levels. Say for example high and low. Suppose answer is no, then we need to consider order of data values is undisputable or not. Suppose answer is no, then we will consider that as nominal variable. But if answer is yes, then we need to consider data values have fixed unit of measurement or no. Suppose data values have not having some unit of measurement which are fixed, then we are consider this variable as ordinal variable. But if answer is yes, then we need to consider this as a metric variable. Now, nominal variable and ordinal variable both are considered under categorical variable because these are qualitative variable. So in nominal variable, we are considering gender, hair, color, then sometimes color of eyes, etc. And for ordinal data, we are considering or ordinal variable, we are considering ranking system like first, second, third, then grades A, B, C or status high, low, medium. Then metric variable is always quantitative thing. So we can measure or count the variable, then it is known as metric variable. So this statistical reasoning will use four general approaches every time. So first thing is descriptive statistics. So in descriptive statistics, we are describing our population. Say for example, we are finding mean, median, mode. So this is descriptive statistics. Then statistical estimation and statistical hypothesis testing. So this is the part of inferential statistics. So inferential statistics deals with study of population from sample. So we are considering inferences or predictions from our samples and we will find out certain parameters or certain estimate regarding our population by using samples. And last thing is statistical modeling. Now we know that population is set of different kind of things, but sample is representative of our population. So from population by sampling methods, we will consider sample and depending upon inferences, prediction, we will estimate our population. Then there are certain things like mean, variance and proportion and standard deviation. We are considering various denotion for this. So for population parameter, mean will be mu and for sample statistics, we are denoting by x bar. For variation, for variance, we are considering population parameter as a sigma square. For sample statistics, we are considering s square. Then proportion for population parameter is denoted by pi and for sample statistics by p. Standard deviation is denoted by sigma and for sample statistics s.